Ali's first loss came in the legendary fight of the century against Joe Frazier in 1971. The fight was highly anticipated, as Ali had been stripped of his heavyweight title for refusing to be drafted into the military during the Vietnam War. Frazier, who held the title, was seen as Ali's greatest rival at the time. The two fighters battled fiercely for 15 rounds, with Frazier ultimately winning by unanimous decision. The loss was a significant setback for Ali, who had previously been undefeated as a professional fighter. However, he did not let it defeat him, and he went on to regain his title in 1974 with a victory over George Foreman in the famous Rumble in the Jungle fight in Kinshasa, Zaire. Ali's second loss came in 1973 when he faced Ken Norton. Norton was a relatively unknown fighter at the time, but he managed to break Ali's jaw in the early rounds of their bout. Despite fighting on for the remainder of the fight, Ali ultimately lost by split decision. The loss was a major setback for Ali, as it prevented him from securing a rematch with Frazier and threatened his chances of regaining his title. However, Ali did eventually get his rematch with Norton in 1976 and won convincingly in a unanimous decision victory. Ali's third loss came in 1978 when he faced off against Leon Spinks. Spinks was a young and relatively unknown fighter, but he managed to outwork Ali and win a split decision victory. The loss was surprising, as Ali had previously beaten Spinks just 7 months earlier. However, Ali did not let the loss get him down. He immediately began training for a rematch, and just 7 months later, he regained his title with a unanimous decision victory over Spinks. Ali's fourth loss came in 1980 when he faced off against Larry Holmes. At the time, Ali was 38 years old and had already begun to show signs of Parkinson's disease. Despite his declining health, Ali refused to back down and agreed to the fight. However, the match was a disaster for Ali. Holmes dominated from start to finish, and Ali's trainer ultimately threw in the towel in the 11th round. The loss was a sobering moment for Ali, as it demonstrated the toll that his years in the ring had taken on his body. Ali's final loss as a professional fighter came in 1981 when he faced off against Trevor Berbick in the Bahamas. Ali was 39 years old at the time and had been diagnosed with Parkinson's disease 2 years earlier. The fight was a shadow of Ali's former glory, with Berbick dominating the aging champion and winning by unanimous decision.